Good morning. Today, I wanted to welcome you into my studio and give you, in my office space, and give you a personal and casual look at some of my artwork and my process, and then there's always like a tad bit of coaching mixed in because that's what I do too, and my coaching has really facilitated my creative process, and my creative process really informs my coaching. So, and they're all unified because it's me, and that's what I do. And this morning I have a helper. Oops, I told you this was going to be personal. So, because I am also a mom of three, and an artist and a writer and a coach, a yoga teacher, and I find that I can't just like categorize my life, and it doesn't necessarily fit into neat boxes. So everything I do has got to be practical because it's got to fit my life. So my art process has to be practical. My yoga has to be practical. My coaching has to fit like a real woman's life, and they're all spiritual processes for me, and I am really interested in like a pragmatic spirituality. So anyway, what I wanted to tell you about specifically today fits in pretty well with that, because as a mom and taking care of like three little ones, mine are all under the age of 5, I find that I need a lot of reminders of like staying in my space. I don't have time to do 3 hours of like meditating and connecting to my center. And while I would love to do that, and I might move into a season of that again at a later point in my life, in these days, I just need ways that again, like really actually fit my life and work for us. Like being mindful of honoring my own needs and my own life and my intentions for my life. And then also, obviously, very mindful that I have the honor and the opportunity to raise and guide 3 little ones. So, but in the process of that, like I find myself losing my place and needing ways to come back to center and come back to remembering who I really am. And so you'll see like just various papers up around my studio. I write mantras or affirmations or things that I need to remember. There could be a challenge I'm working through, and I coach myself through it, or I get some excellent coaching from someone else, and then I write it down so I can look at those deliberate thoughts, that deliberate way I want to be in the world, and bring me back to center. But they're not very pretty. They're just like pieces of paper with, Sharpie, and that they work, and that's fine. But I also have these aesthetic interests, and I'm drawn to beautiful things, and I'm drawn to making things beautiful. So I thought, like, what a cool opportunity, like melding the visual art along with coaching, along with the art of thought and the art of deliberate living and deliberate thinking, and making like a functional art that's also beautiful, that you'd also want to hang in your space, and that could be something that's like meditative, but as you pass by it, like you're in your kitchen and something to center you, or you put it, on your wall as over your light switch. So as you head out the door or head out your bedroom, you have that moment of like reflecting on something that's hopefully beautiful to you, and that brings you back to your own intentions for loving your life and living a meaningful and fulfilling life. So I will show you some things that I'm working on to that end. Let me grab a couple over here. First of all, I'll show you like the little workspace. I hope I'm not making anyone sick by doing this. So here is a little space. I usually work bigger, but for these, I thought I'd work small. I've had some requests for smaller original art, so I am excited to try to do something new in that area. I'll show you a couple of little pieces. And so right now I'm just setting like up some interesting backgrounds for these. I use some, when I have paint left over from my big projects, just like playful ways of putting color down on paper and making different marks. And then I have some different sizes going on. Here's another, little mini. It's got these cool thick sides. I can do something neat with those too. Another size. And so, and like here, let's see if you can see this. I'll shift the camera around, for instance. This is a place where I keep plaster in the back of my door with all these things that I want to remember and that you think you learn once and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. I totally makes sense. I'm good. And then a week later you find yourself lost and needing to remember the same thing over again. And it's no problem. I mean, it's just the nature of the human mind and the arc of the human life to keep spiraling around these same themes and issues for us. So I just like to memorialize the ones that I keep needing to hear. For instance, right now there is no wrong way. It is not possible to screw it up. It is not possible to do it wrong and to trust. And then I have You Matter. Follow intuition, listen to that quiet voice, follow that small movement and dance. Because a lot of times when I'm painting, I don't have most times I don't have a concept, like an end goal in mind. And so I have to get really quiet and really aware of following the smallest little urge to put a color here, or maybe it's to make a big movement, but I don't know that that's going to result, in a person or what it ends up being in the end. And I really have to thank Flora Boyle for introducing me to this process of intuitive painting. It totally changed the way I paint. It's changed my life, and it continues to inform the way my artistic process goes. So I was going to show you, in the beginning when I first started painting, I did a one-semester intro to oil painting class at the University of Notre Dame. I audited it, and this was one of our projects. So it was a still life, had a shampoo bottle, a tennis ball, this reflective cup, some boxes, and you can kind of see I was just, I had some interest in going for bigger angles, but it's a still life. I just realized you probably can't see most of my head while I'm talking. I told you this was going to be informal. So that's where I started, and that was 7 years ago. That's when I first started painting, although I had this urge to paint all my life. I did have to conquer this inner perfectionist in order to do that.